Hi everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. This is the December reading for all Libras, 2014. I do a 5-card spread. One's for the overall energies, and another card's placed out in the position of each week. I pull out an extra card for information to either tell me what's either going to help you or what's blocking you. I don't normally do reversals, and as you can see there's a few here. I went to flip them around, and for some reason I thought, well, they need to be left in reverse, so I go by intuition. I feel like that's gonna make some big difference in here. You guys got a difficult reading. Actually, when I seen it, I was a little, oh boy, overwhelmed, let's say. I kind of get the sense that I'm going to have to get my Dr. Phil on here. But that's okay. I will say the Justice card's here, which represents Libra, and Sagittarius is here, and I'm a Sag, so have no fear. We're the most optimistic people in the zodiac signs. So if we can turn anything around, make it sound good, it's a Sag that's going to do it. So maybe that's why it came up. I find that a little funny. And Libras and Sages make really good friends. It's the houses that they activate in each other's charts. And believe it or not, even if the two of them are against each other, like enemies, one of them tries to make the other one enemies, you can't really screw each other over. You learn your best life lessons through each other, and by the end of it, you actually see that you helped each other, even though you were trying to hurt each other, if that makes sense. So let's get to the reading here. So for the first card, we have the Six of Swords, and it was in reverse. So Six of Swords is emotional healing, moving on. You can see all these swords, they're in the boat. Water represents the emotion. Moon can represent the unconscious, unknown. So that's a sign of paying attention to your dreams. And I will say, because I see in the cards a split for some, not all, a split in a relationship, whether that be a divorce happening. I kind of feel like for some of you guys it might be. This is paying attention to your dreams. When I say that, okay, about last year, I was separating with a guy, and we all have our own baggage in that we bring into relationships, whether we realize it or not, and it can stem from childhood traumas, something that our parents put on us. It could be another partner, and we bring that into new relationships. And paying attention to your dream, when we were separating, I had a dream about when I was 9, in the house that we lived in when I was 9, and I'm 29 now, and it was me waking up in bed with that guy, and then him suddenly gone, and that made no sense to me at the time. But when I evaluated it and reflected on it, my father had left my mother in that house, and I probably had some doing in that relationship ending because of my fears of my father leaving, and I didn't know that at the time. But because I reflected on the dreams, I ended up coming to terms with that and trying to move on, and at least trying to find healthy coping mechanisms to get over that. And perhaps there's something like that happening with you, or that you should be aware of. And the thing with Libra is, I'm also going to say is, you guys are most likely getting a 2-part reading here. So at the 15-minute mark, there'll be a part 2. Libras are very generous, happy-go-lucky people, very kind, very caring. A lot of people come to them with their emotional baggage, to the Libras. It could also be why this card is there, and you're just taking on too many people's things. Libras aren't liars, I'm going to say, but you guys do the white lies, and that's, please don't give me hate mail, people. It's because you guys are people pleasers. Libras are the biggest people pleasers in the zodiac sign. They want everybody to be happy, and they sometimes forget about themselves, because they're trying to please everybody else, and it can get them into hot water sometimes. And all they were meaning to do was to help everybody, and it kind of backfires on you. Where the Sagittarius, which is interesting, the Sagittarius is the opposite of that. Because Libras represent balance, but they're unbalanced. In Sagittarius, people see them as unbalanced, but they are balanced. So usually the unbalancing is happening around a Sag, and people come to them for balancing. And a Libra can give the Sagittarius a different perspective. They see short-term things. Sagittarius tend to overlook short-term and only look long-term. And Libras tend to not to look long-term and only focus on the here and now, what they're going to get now. So hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys out there. With the Six of Swords, it's, like I said, emotional healing. It can also mean moving. So maybe there's a delay in a move because it was reversed. The Six of Swords is harmony after strain, long journey over water. So maybe you haven't gotten that ending that you're waiting for. The card that's overlapping that's crossing it, is the Wheel of Fortune. So this could be karmic. So if something bad's happening, it's karmic. And if you don't believe in karma, there's a saying, what goes around comes around. There's always an ending and a beginning. So, and if you can see in this card, there's no people. So, how can I put that? This is something you have no control over. It's just, there's no people in here, so it's happening regardless if you wanted to or not to. So you need to make that choice to look at the details and overcome them, so you can emotionally heal and move forward. The Wheel of Fortune can be the new beginning, and you're not, because the card's reversing, it can represent moving on. You need to reflect and look at those things in order to get your new beginning. So it's not on hold. In the first week, we have the King of Cups. And with the King of Cups, he's a good father, active, sensitive. Cups could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces man. Jupiter's represented here. There's a lot of fire, so I see this as this energy will be done by the end of Sagittarius because of the Jupiter. Or maybe when Scorpio moves into Sag, because that's happening, I believe, December 24th or 26th. The King of Cups is warm, thoughtful man. He's in the caring or creative profession, so he could be like a physician, a therapist. And it's reversed. So with the King of Cups being reversed, I'm associating again with emotion. This King of Cups man isn't emotionally available or refusing to emotionally accept accept something, and I'm kind of thinking like an ending. You're emotionally not moving past an ending. Whether that's a split, because this card's here, it could be split with a person. You could be feeling down, even. And if that's the case, something fun. Calling your buddies, getting together, poker night, if it's a male. If this is your spouse or boyfriend, and he's sad about something, parent or missing friends, maybe. Maybe you could surprise him with a man's night, getting his buddies together and doing poker. The card that's crossing that is the Chariot. And the Chariot, to me, is about choice. The light is coming. A lot of the lighter colors are coming out to me, but the darker is standing out. So there's some block. And a lot of spirituality is coming. So meditation may be necessary. And for those of you that don't believe in meditation and think it's like a spiritual thing, meditation's purpose is to connect the conscious mind and the unconscious mind together to help you connect them as one so you can see your path forward. So it's a good exercise to do meditation. The sun's here, so it's positive. I feel like you're going to combine your light and your dark, your shadow. You got a little bit of shadow work I'm feeling with these cards. The moon is the unconscious, so I think you need to get in tune with your unconscious. With the Chariot, it's triumph over difficulty, strength of will is needed. It takes a lot of work to go inwards, to reflect inwards. Maybe you need to realize that you are a people pleaser, and you're not, because of that, you've taken on too many people's things and not able to deal with your own. The card we have for the second week is the Five of Swords. And people say this is a card of deception, backstabbing, kind of. I see it as the victory card, though. That's the way I interpret it, just because of this particular deck. A man has the flag up, saying he gives up. This guy's got all of his lessons in his hand, and the sword, like, saying triumph, victory. It's almost like the damn right card. Damn right, you better give up. You have no chance. With the Five of Swords, it's deceit, hidden agenda, unfair dealings. Maybe there's something that you're doing that's unfair. You're not being truthful about something, whether that's with yourself or somebody else. The sun's shining through, so you're willing to see that. Sometimes we can be stubborn because we're unwilling to look at those truths within ourselves, and that's the hardest thing to do. But we can't move on in life unless we're willing to learn, because learning is growing, and you're not living unless you're growing. Otherwise, you're just in a stalemate. And Libras love knowledge, so Temperance. Temperance is the card that's crossing the Five of Swords. So if somebody does deceive you, you need to be balanced, and balanced in the sense of not allowing your emotions to overtake you, to look at it practically, but to emotionally evaluate it, but practically apply those emotions to logic, is what I'm going to say. This can also be the card of magic, I think of, because of the fairy dust. It's all glitz and glam. Temperance, if you look at the card, she's up in the sky. And it actually looks like